How you doing?
I was over there with the time.
My glasses,
Well, I'll give you mine.
I might be able to see you better then.
Actually,
You mind? Sure.
Where are your...
I didn't see.
she had in the room.
Right behind the center, up at the center. Somebody told me about it. Did somebody break the rail?
In the back?
I'm sorry. I was supposed to forever. Dude, no, it's your fault.
Yeah, standing in the water.
You want water? Yeah, please.
Oh, it's crazy. No, I'm just... It's crazy.
All that equipment out.
I know.
Oh,
So he gave it to me.
oh, Larry doesn't have one in front of him.
Proclamation tonight.
What don't I have?
Nothing like a proclamation? And you get a proclamation. Here it is, and I was glad.
I believe it is.
It is.
Okay, Mike.
Check and I'll send you a text. You gonna be around tomorrow, or are you going to Florida?
Oh, okay.
I don't see him.
Okay.
Still bring it up.
I'll contact you.
Okay. Because I didn't get an email or anything. That's why I asked.
That's why I didn't
No,
know.
I'm sorry. I talked to citizen. I talked to the citizen.
Oh, those aren't working.
Half of them burned down.
I know.
Yeah, well, you can't.
I know we can't buy it with my good ones. Not with mine.
Just say we collaborated.
Ready?
Looking for me now.
Okay, this
I just
is
lost.
the regular meeting for the city of Joliet.
No one's listening.
That's all right.
Bang it hard.
Yeah, Mike.
Okay, this is the regular meeting for the city of Joliet. The city council for Tuesday, June 6, 2017, chaired by Mayor Robert Odekert. The invocation will be given by Pastor Herb Brooks Jr. of St. John's Missionary Baptist Church of 104 East Zarley Boulevard in Joliet, after which he will lead us in a pledge to the flag. So please rise.
Thank you, Councilman Turk. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, as we begin our prayer, 2 of the City of Joliet employees have gone home to be with the Lord. I'm going to ask if you remember in your prayers in your own way for Bill Johnson and his family, a longtime employee of this city, along with Don Walden and his family, a part of the Planning Commission of the City of Joliet. So if you don't mind, just a moment's silence just for a moment, please. Thank you. Gracious Father, we come tonight. We thank you, Lord, for the city of Joliet and the city council, our mayor, and all our elected officials. You said in your word in Psalm 24 and verse number 1 that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. And Lord, is this government within the state of Illinois, the county of Will, and the city of Joliet that we're lifting up to you on tonight. We ask your blessing upon this mayor, our council, and all that city election, as well as their families, Lord, as they give due diligence to the work that you called them to do. Bless them and their families, as well as bless all of these residents of the city of Joliet. Now, Lord, we ask your blessing upon this agenda, that you do your work and your will. In the Lord's name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Oh, she misses herself.
Good job. Thank you. Gary?
That's right.
Mayor.
How you doing?
Thank you.
Pastor.
Thank you so much. Your hands are cold. You got a warm heart.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Odekert,
Here.
Councilman Dickinson,
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin,
Here.
Councilman Girl,
Here.
Councilman Hug,
Here.
Councilman Morris,
Here.
Councilman Mudrin,
Here.
Councilwoman Coleman,
Here.
Councilman Turk.
Here.
First on the agenda is a presentation on ComEd smart meter installation by Mike McMahon, Vice President of ComEd. You could come forward to the podium.
Mayor, members of the City Council, I'm Jeff Hetrick, the External Affairs Manager for ComEd. What I'd like to do is introduce our Vice President of our new smart meter program, Mr. Mike McMahon. Mike is going to explain what's going to be happening in Joliet. Mike?
Thank you, Jeff, and on behalf of ComEd, thanks for having us here to talk about this really exciting deployment of advanced technology in Joliet. We are beginning to install meters in Joliet. It's coming up in a couple months here. The smart meter deployment is a statewide initiative. It was authorized by the 2012 Energy Infrastructure Modernization Act by the state legislature, which authorized ComEd to spend $2.6 billion in terms of modernizing the grid. About $1.3 billion of that was to be spent on infrastructure improvements, poles, underground cable, that kind of thing, and about $1.3 billion of that was to be spent on modernizing the grid with distribution automation as well as smart meters. Smart meters make up about $1.1 billion of that investment. We've been deploying since about 2012. We have over 3 million meters, 3.3 million meters installed right now. We've been pretty successful in our deployment to date. In this area, you're going to see ComEd will be deploying the meters. I have a map here which will show the general deployment areas of Joliet, if I can hand this around.
Sure.
Here should I hand? I got a couple show and tell items to provide.
Elmo. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so as you can see on the map, Joliet has a total of about 57,492 meters. We're going to put 35,000 of those meters in this year. They will be installed by ComEd employees. The initial communications plan will includes a bill insert, which comes out about 90 days before we start deploying. So, and that's followed by a postcard that comes out 60 days before deployment. That's followed by a letter that comes out about 30 days to 45 days before deployment. About 10 days before deployment, you'll get a blast call saying, this ComEd, we're going to be in your neighborhood in the next 10 days installing smart meters. Please put your dogs in and leave your gates unlocked. Then about 30 days after deployment, you get your first post-deployment postcard saying, congratulations, you have a smart meter, and these are some of the ways to take advantage of that. And 30 days after that, you get your final postcard saying, remember, you got a smart meter, and this is the way you can take advantage of that.
Okay, sure.
Order back to front.
I'm going to pass these down.
Sure.
Just look at them.
The meters you have on the side of your house right now are analog meters. They're nothing but a chunk of metal. They have dials that spin on them. They require a meter reader to come up and read that meter every month. If that means we're in your backyards, that means if a meter's in your house. And we do have quite a few meters that are actually in the residence. We have to come in the residence to read the meter. This is a smart meter. This is identical to the meter that will go on virtually all of the residential structures in Joliet. It's a digital device. It will provide a digital readout, and let's see here. You guys don't need to see the inside of this. It will provide a digital readout, and then it has two small computer chips in it. One computer chip communicates with us. One computer chip communicates with the resident if he so chooses to enable that communications device. It's kind of a myth out there that these meters communicate all the time. They do not. They only transmit back to ComEd about six times a day, and then they do check for connectivity, similar to what your cell phone does. Total on time of this meter in any 24-hour period is 5 minutes or less, about 5 minutes or less. That's all the time the radio is on. Nothing fancy about it. It has a small computer chip in it, We do store up interval usage. We record that usage on 30-minute increments, and then that's transmitted back to ComEd about six times a day. So that's what we get. Now, the customer can see the usage, their usage, the day after. So they can go on the web and they can see their usage the day after. That's one of the benefits of the smart meters. As I said, we're going to put in 35,000 meters this year in Joliet. We'll begin in July, and then we'll be in Joliet for virtually every month until the end of the year. July, August, September, October. Our big deployment will be in August with 10,600 meters installed. And we do about 20 to 30,000 meters a week system-wide. So this will be a pretty big effort in Joliet. The crews coming out of here will be coming out of Romeoville. We have a cross dock up in Romeoville, and they will be ComEd employees. Those employees all carry a ComEd badge. It looks like this, a ComEd field badge. Of course, all our vehicles are logoed. They say ComEd on the side. We encourage all the residents to ask to see the badge. If the person at the door cannot produce the badge, close the door, call the police. It is not us. We will never ask for money. If anybody's at the door asking for money, definitely close the door, call the police. It's not us. We will never ask to come inside the residence unless the meter is in the resident and needs to be exchanged. The meter exchange itself takes, the employee will probably be, the installer would be on property for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Most of that time is doing his computer work. Then about the actual meter exchange is 2 to 3 minutes, just long enough to pull the meter out, put the new meter in. Usually, we do not lose power. We're able to jumper around the meter fitting, but it's a little dependent on the specific type of meter fitting. If the customer does need to lose power, and we always warn them to expect that, you can expect to lose power for 2 minutes tops. We have been very successful in our meter install. Some folks, though, do refuse the meter, and they're able to do that. They don't really need a reason. All they have to do is call us and say, I don't want the meter. Now, we're going to try to educate those folks on why to accept the meter. And about 60% of the people, after we've talked to them and explained the facts, say that's fine, please come and install the meter. There's really a few reasons that people refuse the meter. One is data security. People are afraid that you can hack into the meter. And you know, this day and age, nobody's going to tell you anything's hack-proof. I certainly am not. However, we do employ cryptographic technology. We hire people to try to hack into our meters. If they can hack into our system, they identify those vulnerabilities and we plug them. So we're always upgrading our software. So these meters, the firmware on them can be upgraded wirelessly. We have extra memory on the computers to future-proof them. It's one of the things we insisted on. The second concern people have is data privacy. We do collect that interval usage on 30-minute increments. Some folks are afraid we will sell that data to third parties. That one's probably the easiest one to deal with. We will not, unless a few specific reasons. The customer has to specifically ask us to provide that data to a third party. And there is a White House initiative called Green Button Connect that allows people to do that. If it's required by law, if the police come to us with a lawful request, we're going to give it up. Or if it's anonymous. And some people, we do need anonymous data. So that's to allow development of different type of rate plans. Right now, almost everybody pays a flat rate. We are encouraging providers to provide alternate rates, dynamic pricing structures. The price of electricity overnight can go virtually negative. We'll pay you to use electricity over the night if it's a dynamic pricing screen such as real-time rates. And then probably, well, the second to the biggest is other. They just don't tell us, I just don't want it. That's fine, okay, we won't put it in. But then the largest reason is health effects. So as I said, we have over 3.3 million meters installed. we have about 3,600 people that have declined the meter out of 3.3 million, 0.1%. So we have a very low refusal rate. But some people, it is a wireless device. It transmits at 900 megahertz, just like your garage door opener or your baby monitors transmit. Once again, total on time for 5 minutes a day. However, it is a wireless device. Some people are concerned that that could cause health effects such as cancer. There's hundreds of studies available on this, and while I appreciate the emotion around it, scientific evidence just is not there. If a person decides to refuse the meter, and they can do that up until 2022 currently, there is an additional fee that's involved at $21.53 a month. Why is that fee? Because with a smart meter, I don't need to read your meter every month with a human. I don't need to send a person out to read your meter. A lot of people consider this to be a security feature. We certainly do. We think our employees are safer. We don't have to expose them to dogs, and we have lots of dog attacks. And for the customers, particularly for the seniors, they don't have to worry about people in their backyard and who's worrying about that anymore. Who is that person in my backyard? So security and safety come along with these smart meters. Lots and lots of other benefits. Primarily peak time savings. We'd encourage everybody to sign up for peak time savings. If you use less electricity on the hottest days of the year, and we will tell you when that is, we'll give you $1 per kilowatt hour credit on your next bill. Normally that's about $4 to $8 a event that people can save. We have about 233,000 people signed up on peak time savings right now, and we've returned over $1.2 million to those customers through peak time savings. And as you all know, to the extent that you can reduce that usage on the hottest days of the year, everybody saves. Everybody benefits by keeping electricity rates down. So in the interest of time, I'll just pause there for any questions.
Questions? Thank you. It was a good presentation. Marty, can we do what we can to put this information both on the water bills and on the newsletter that gets sent out?
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Okay. I got some fact sheets I'll provide to you as well that you can use those as well. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Before we move to proclamations, next we have
Krista,
Yep,
I believe those representatives from Harrah's Casino here.
that's what I was going to say. Randy Conroy here, the new general manager.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're
Thank
fine.
you.
Yep.
Good evening, Mayor Odekirk, City Council members and staff. My name is Randall Conroy, and as of yesterday, I'm the new general manager at Harrah's Joliet. Darren Vandover, who's been there for 10 years roughly, took a position in North Kansas City. I've been with Caesars, the parent of Harrah's, for 13 years. Worked in a tribal operation in Kansas, Lake Tahoe, Philadelphia, and most recently, last couple of years, in Metropolis, Illinois, of course, the home of Superman. Darren briefed me on some of the exciting things that are happening in Joliet, and it seems like I'm coming just at the right time. So I look forward to working with you on figuring out how Harrah's and myself can make those dreams a reality. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions?
Welcome.
Thank you so much for your
Welcome to
time.
Joliet.
You
Thank
guys
you.
draw a crowd here, let me tell you.
That's all for you.
Casino's right over here, by the way. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Next, under Mayor proclamations, the first proclamation is recognizing Vanessa Flores as Miss J 2017. She could come forward if she's present.
Vanessa. Awesome. Come over here, my dear. Okay. Vanessa Flores, a senior at Joliet Central High School, was named Miss J 2017 on Wednesday, April 26, 2017. Congratulations. Whereas the tradition of selecting two high school seniors, Mr. and Mrs. J, who best represents the ideals of JT Central, began in 1958. The selection begins with seniors who achieve a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or above. The faculty then makes a selection of 10 Miss J finalists from the list using the criteria of appearance and poise, personality, activities, and community service. Just one more. Once the finalists have been selected, they are interviewed by the panel of teachers and the community members who judge the students based upon set criteria. Vanessa has a weighted grade point average of 4.47. Yes. And was an Adam Award recipient and an AP Scholar with honors, and is a Illinois State Scholar. Vanessa was also a member of the National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, the JROTC Academic Bowl team, who were national finalists. Girl, you were something else. And these are only a few among a long list of other accomplishments. Whereas she is a recipient of the Southeastern University Presidential and Honor Scholarship and the National Fine Arts Festival Scholarship. Whereas Vanessa plans to attend Southeastern University, where she will major in children and family ministry. Awesome, awesome. Now, therefore, I, Robert Odekirk, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby congratulate Vanessa Flores on being named Miss J 2017. And we wish you the very best and with your academic and lifetime endeavors.
Thank you for the honor of recognition and congratulating. It's, oh gosh, it's an honor to represent not only my school, but my city, and just to see all the different things going on with advancements and technology and with the new members here. It's just an honor just to be able to be a part of that and serve my community. Thank you.
Congratulations.
The next proclamation recognizes Benjamin Hallahan as Mr. J 2017.
You know, Mayor, it's nice to honor these individuals. That's a great thing you're doing, and you know, too many times young individuals don't get the recognition they deserve. It's negative recognition, so I think this is a great thing. Proclamation reads as follows: whereas Benjamin Hallahan, a senior at Joliet Central High School, was named Mr. J 2017 on Wednesday, April 26, 2017. And whereas the tradition of selecting two high school seniors, Mr. and Ms. J, who best represent the ideals of JT Central, began in 1958. The selection begins with seniors who achieved a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or above. The faculty then makes a selection of 10 Mr. J finalists from the list using the criteria of appearance and poise, personality, activities, and community service. Once the finalists have been selected, they are interviewed by a panel of teachers and community members who judge the students based upon set criteria. Benjamin is an Illinois State Scholar, a National Merit Commended Scholar, an AP Scholar with distinction, an Adam Award recipient, Junior Class Honor Guide, and an ACT Pace Setter. Whereas he was also inducted into the National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, and has been involved in the Key Club, the math team, cross country, basketball, and track. Ben has been awarded the University of Alabama Presidential Scholarship, Physics Scholarship, and Honors Fellowship. Ben plans to attend the University of Alabama, where he will pursue a degree in physics, and has been accepted into the Honors College and the Randall Research Scholars Program. Now, therefore, I, Robert Odekirk, Mayor of the City of Joliet, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby congratulate Benjamin Hallahan on being named Mr. J 2017, and we wish you the very best with your academic and lifetime endeavors. It's dated June 6, 2017, and signed by the Mayor, Robert Odekirk. Congratulations.
Say, roll tide, baby.
The next proclamation recognizes Jada Selena Brand as Miss Alpha Omega 2017.
I know that the last recipient here didn't want to make any remarks after Councilman Turk read the proclamation, but I noticed here that Jalen wants to get into politics, so something tells me you're going to have something to say after I'm done with this proclamation. But I'll tell you, we are very proud of these young people that are here today. Not only are you representing your school, but you're also an ambassador to the city of Joliet, and we're happy that you're here today and very proud of you. So, whereas Jada Selena Brand, a senior at Joliet West High School, was my alma mater, by the way, a long time ago, was named Miss Alpha Omega 2017 on Wednesday, May 10th, 2017. To be considered an Alpha Omega finalist, students need to have a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.5 for 8 straight semesters and were required to submit a resume and cover letter to the panel of judges highlighting their academic career. Selected finalists are then interviewed by a panel of teachers and community members who judge the students based on leadership, poise, diversity, confidence, merit, maturity, and commitment to their school and community. Whereas Jada is a member of the National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, the math team, Tri-M, Young Achievers, is an Illinois State Scholar, an AP Scholar with honors, and earned High Academic Achievement Award, just to mention a few. Are you sure you want to get a politics? She also served as a second principal of both the Philharmonic Orchestra and the Symphony Orchestra. Whereas Jada will attend Howard University, where she was awarded the Grace Grant covering her full tuition, and she will double major in criminal justice and business on a pre-law track. She then plans to attend either Howard University School of Law or John Marshall Law School to earn a Juris Doctorate degree afterward, and her goal is to open her own firm and to ease into politics. Well, good luck. Now, therefore, I, Robert Odekirk, the mayor of the city of Joliet and of Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby congratulate Jada Selena Brand on being named Miss Alpha Omega 2017, and we wish you the very best with your academic and lifetime endeavors.
I just want to say thank you to everyone here. Thank you to Joliet Township and the city of Joliet for giving me the amazing education and opportunities that I did. I want to take everything I learned in Joliet and come back and work for you guys and just make the city even better than it is.
All right.
Next proclamation recognizes Franco Rota as Mr. Alpha Omega 2017.
This is directed towards the mayor and the city council. I looked over, I won't spoil the ending, looked over Franco's background, these other 3 young adults, and I'm done with this. We're leaving the council seat. They're more qualified than any of us up there, trust me. And I just wanted to clarify one thing for those people, both here and on TV, who don't understand what AP or dual credit means. AP is advanced placement testing. It's akin to a honors program, but when you get done with the final semester of that particular course, you take a test that scores from 1 to 5, and if you score 3, most universities accept it as 3 hours of credit, a 4, almost all, and a 5, even Ivy League does. So I'm just going to point out that Franco's already got 36 college credit hours. That's more than a year of college credit hours. Okay. This is your life, Franco. Whereas Franco Rota, a senior at Joliet West High School, was named Mr. Alpha Omega 2017 on Wednesday, May 10th, 2017. Whereas to be considered an Alpha Omega finalist, students need to have a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.5 for 8 straight semesters and were required to submit a resume and cover letter to the panel of judges highlighting their academic career. Selected finalists are then interviewed by a panel of teachers and community members who judge the students based on leadership, poise, diversity, confidence, merit, maturity, and commitment to their school and community. Whereas Franco is a member of the National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Mentor 2.0, is an ACT pace setter, Illinois State Scholar, AP Scholar with honors, has taken 10 AP classes and 2 dual credit courses. Whereas he also plays travel soccer for Naperville Galaxy, Chicago Fire, Aurora USA Academy, and his athletic skills have earned him an offer to play D3 soccer at St. Mary's University in Minnesota. Whereas Franco is still undecided on which university he will attend in the fall, but plans on majoring in biological sciences, getting a BS, with a pre-med track, and his dream is to attend medical school and become a doctor. Now, therefore, I, Robert Odekirk, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby congratulate Franco Rhoda on being named Mr. Alpha Omega 2017, and we wish you the very best with your academic and lifetime endeavors. My final comment will be whatever college you choose, we'll be lucky to have you, Franco.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Next is a proclamation congratulating Eisenhower Academy as a 2016 National Blue Ribbon School.
This is congratulating Eisenhower Academy for 2016 National Blue Ribbon School, which I'm proud to say that my 3 kids went there. Whereas Eisenhower Academy was named a 2016 National Blue Ribbon School for its high achieving status, and whereas Eisenhower Academy was the only school in Will County and is the first school in Joliet to receive the honor as a National Blue Ribbon School, and whereas they were nominated as an exemplary high-performing school by the Illinois State Department of Education for consideration of the award, and whereas Eisenhower Academy was established as a magnet school in 1980, and currently there are approximately 275 students in 1st through 5th grade who attend, and whereas parent involvement is an important component of the Eisenhower Academy program, and whereas with the signing of the Partners in Learning 4-way learning agreement, students, parents, teachers, and the principal form an alliance to develop each child to his or her fullest potential. Now, therefore, I, Robert Odekirk, Mayor of the City of Joliet, Illinois, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby congratulate Eisenhower Academy on receiving this prestigious honor of being named National Blue Ribbon School, and we extend our great pride in your dedication to quality education. Signed, Robert Odekirk, Mayor of Joliet.
Mayor and City of Joliet, thank you so much for this distinct recognition. I am honored to accept this for the most important people that made this happen, our staff, who some are sitting here. I'd like them to wave just a minute. A few teachers, some parents who support us through this journey, and our wonderful students who are so dedicated. So thank you so much for this recognition.
Great job, thank you.
Next proclamation recognizes Hannah Tischler for her heroism.
Wow, a hero right here. Whereas on November 23rd, 2016, at approximately 10:30, Hannah Tischler noticed a woman being robbed in a parking lot and observed the suspect dragging the victim, who was unknown to her, through the parking lot. Hannah exited the car in which she was a passenger, and with no concern for her own personal safety, ran to assist the victim. Hannah physically placed herself between the victim and her attacker, pushing the suspect away from her. Okay. Her efforts resulted in the attacker running away without causing any further harm to the victim. Hannah was able to give a great description that the suspect was captured a short time later. On May 17, 2017, the Joliet Police Department presented Hannah with the Citizen Award of Valor, which is the most prestigious award granted to a private citizen. So now therefore I, Robert Odekirk, Mayor of the City of Joliet, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do here recognize the heroic actions of Hannah Tischler and congratulate her on a job well done. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you very much to everybody who kind of just recognized me in any way. I've never really been recognized in my life for very much. And I always just kind of look to help everybody that I can. And if I see somebody getting treated a way that they don't deserve, I'm going to try to help them the best I can, even if it means putting myself in kind of a risk, because I know what it's like to be treated a certain way, and I know what that's like, and I know it doesn't feel very well. Thank you very much.
We're very proud.
Next, we have Mayor Odekirk appointments. The mayor tonight is recommending the following appointments to the Community Relations Advisory Board: R. Dale Evans, Wayne Horn, Garland Mays, Lonnie Posley, Betty Washington, and Rachel Wesley. Is there a motion to approve the appointments?
So moved.
Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried. Also this evening, the mayor is recommending the following appointment and reappointment to the Joliet Regional Port District Board. Herb Landy is an appointment, and Jason Cox is a reappointment. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
It's been motion and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Motion carried. The mayor is recommending the following appointments and reappointments to the Plan Commission Board. Bridget Fide, appointment. Jeff Crompton, appointment. Tim Broderick, appointment. Frederick Rick Moore, reappointment. Jason Cox, reappointment. John Kella, reappointment. Mark Rusinellis, reappointment. And Joseph Strong, reappointment. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
It's been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as written with the following change? Remove Council Memo 298-17, an ordinance amending Chapter 18, Article 10, Sections 18, 206 to 209, personal property sales in residential districts.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve the agenda as written, removing Council Memo 298-17. Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. First is Artis Gregorish. This is regarding Council Memo 291-17.
I've come here, they have had signatures, they have taken signatures, there are 90 signatures opposing the strip mall. And I'm here to present it to you. And my last thought would be, please vote against it, not for the strip mall. We are a small neighborhood, and we really want to stay a small neighborhood.
Thank you. You present to the clerk, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone present that would like to speak on an agenda item this evening? May come forward. I'll pass this down if you just want to keep passing it down.
Good evening, I'm Marvin Balsley of 1218 Oregon. I've emailed, I think, almost all of you except Mr. Dickinson. I couldn't get through to him. I bring to your attention again a child safety time bomb that I feel exists in our neighborhood and will only be made worse by the approval of this strip mall, changing the zoning so that it can go in and be big. We've made a lot of recommendations over the years, blocking off Oregon Street, using the 2-foot-high fencing that they have at Catherine's and lots of other streets, or putting in just a curb and a little small grassy area. You drive over to Crossroads Church on Black Road, drive back into the parking lot there, and you can look and see what was done with marking the avenue there. Which, one thing we didn't recommend was a cul-de-sac. There are many streets that are closed off in Joliet without a cul-de-sac, including the one that I just mentioned. We've recommended speed bumps. We've recommended making Oregon a one-way street. We have hundreds and hundreds of cars going past Taft School every single day, and they come up Midland North, and they cut across onto Oregon Avenue, go past the school, then go into our subdivision. They cut down through Oregon, go over on Colorado, then come out on Massachusetts. And so it's a regular thoroughfare in our subdivision, and it's a real problem. And it's just a matter of time before a child is seriously injured. We've had a number of incidents, but it's just a time bomb waiting to go off. We're going to have a child crippled for life, or perhaps even killed one of these days, because of this overwhelming number of the amount of traffic going through here. So I'd like you to do something about that. If you approve this strip mall without doing anything about the traffic situation, then you fail, no matter what decision you make. The traffic situation has to be addressed here. And so that's what I'm bringing to your attention now. In the legal terms, there's a concept, and I don't expect the state's attorney to go after you, but there's a concept called reckless endangerment. What this means briefly is that if you know of a terrible safety issue that's present, as this is, hundreds and hundreds of cars going past this school, going through this little subdivision every day, and you're made aware of it, you're given solutions on what to do about it, and you steadfastly refuse to do anything, then when something does happen, you take on and bear some of the responsibility for that. So you guys are in power here. You folks have the power to do something about this. And those of you who've been at these meetings, you've seen tons of people come here and object to this strip mall thing. And a large part of it is because of this traffic problem. You know, all the new subdivisions that are being built have one street in, one street out. We have 8 streets in and 8 streets out of our subdivision. So we're just really porous subdivision with hundreds of cars going through there all the time. Adding this strip mall will only add to the tremendous amount of traffic that we already have. So I ask you to vote no on this. And even if you do vote no, I ask you also to go one step further and do something about the traffic problem in this Kerwin Terrace subdivision. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Jim Trisno? I know with the traffic, this has been an ongoing complaint, and we've kicked around a lot of different ideas. How seriously have we ever looked at the idea of some one-way streets to try to limit the flow of traffic through that neighborhood?
We really haven't looked at one-way streets. We've looked at traffic in those neighborhoods. It's nothing out of the ordinary. We've taken many counts. A big part of the traffic comes up, like the gentleman just said, comes up past Taft School, turns on Ingalls, either heads east or west. Goes to Wyoming if they're heading north, and may go head east on Ingalls. There are not the counts that we're hearing about. We've done counts. I can tell you that. And it did not warrant any sort of a cul-de-sac. I think we did a little extra signage. I have to double check with our traffic engineer. We did some additional signage on Oregon, but you know, we do not see the situation being discussed here. And, I mean, I live in a neighborhood where there's traffic in and out also. I don't live in a cul-de-sac or anything of that nature.
What would you need to justify a one-way street? Is there a state statute or state requirement that needs to be met, or is that just something that this council could vote on?
Actually, if we want to go to a one-way street, the neighbors in the street, if they would like, they could petition us to go to a one-way street. It's kind of comparable to no parking on a given side of a street. You know, we prefer not to do that in general, but if the neighbors on a given block want to make it one way, we typically look for if streets are very, very narrow, which this is not the case here. This is a normal subdivision street. I think it's a 31 back-to-back street. But we would not do that normally. But if the neighbors want to petition for one way, we could consider that. Again, I know what the traffic's like on Oregon past the school, especially on school days. I know what it's like in Ingalls. I know what it's like in Wyoming. But we do have counts showing where the areas where the traffic is a little bit higher, and it's just not a reality what I'm hearing here again tonight.
Anyone else that would like to speak on an agenda item?
Good evening. My name is Lawrence Wolz, 1320 Colorado Avenue. And those of you who have been at the last neighborhood meetings, you've seen me. I'm one of the loudmouths. For those of you who haven't been there, let me summarize. We've had 30 different people speaking. All of them said the same thing. We don't want this. All of them said that, except for a handful of people. There were a few people who did speak up and say that this was a good idea, but every one of them was being paid by the man who was building the strip mall. You are our elected representatives. You are here to do the work of the people who you are here to represent. Pat Mudrin, I'm calling on you directly. You are my representative. I voted for you. We have 90 families in your district that are telling you this is a bad idea. Councilman at large, we're calling on you. We're saying this is a horrible idea, and we need you to support us. Other councilmen who are not in our district, you weren't there. Excuse me, Mr. Dickinson, I recognize your face. I remember you seeing you there. I want to see you people look at those 90 families and those children and tell them it's a better idea to put this strip mall there. We don't need to listen to you. We shouldn't listen to the people who live there. We know better. And as I've looked over the statutes, I found four city ordinances that are going to have to be waived in order for this to go in. And if our ComEd folks were still here, I'd remind them that they're going to have to be removing power poles and transformers out of there. I've contacted them about that. They said that they will do that if that is what the council tells them to do. They don't have any say in the matter one way or the other. But we, the people who live there, we who have been there for in some cases 45 years, who have seen this has come and gone, some of us who are newer residents, some of us who are returning residents, we are telling you, no, please listen to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else, sir?
Hi, I'm Richard Adams. I'm in 1301 Colorado, right across from where they're going to build a strip mall, or proposed strip mall. I am not against business. Do not get me wrong. I am opposed to a strip mall. If I saw a small little doctor's office going there, a small little, say, attorney's office, State Farm, something like that, in those lots, I would not be opposed to that as a neighbor living right across the street. But as a strip mall with people coming in and out and what have you, the congestion it's going to cause, I am very much opposed to it. So I ask you to take it into consideration when you do your vote, that you do consider, like the other speakers have said, the 90 families and individuals that have signed petitions in that area. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, next we have council committee reports. CTIS committee report.
CTIS met on May 31st at 4:30, and we had quite a detailed agenda, so I'm going to ask David Braner, our CTIS director, to come up and explain the interview room automation project, the circuit agreements, and the malware vulnerability, which to mitigate corresponding risks.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. CTIS met, and we really covered about three major items. The first was the finalization of the decision to go forward with Axon, which is the new name for the TASER product that we're using to keep an eye on our interview rooms. What we're basically doing is we're putting in new cameras and audio system for 5 interview rooms, and this is going to allow us to I'll take that information and then bring that up to the clouds. It's a better framework. It's a better design for that kind of work. The second thing we did is we made a recommendation to upgrade our internet for the city. We're going to go with geographic diversity as well as carrier diversity on this. So we're going to be using a Comcast 1 gigabyte circuit to the internet out of this building. And then we're going to be going with an AT&T circuit out of Fire Station 10 to give us geographic diversity out west. Lastly, we did an update on the malware vulnerability that came out a couple weeks ago. I was asked to kind of do a follow-up on this. It was the WannaCry. We weren't crying. We didn't get it, but we did put the patches in, and we're all good there. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you.
I just might add that also present was Councilman Mudron and Councilwoman Betty Gavin.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
If I can add, some of the young people are here. You feel free to leave anytime you want. It's not rude. People come and go all the time to these meetings.
Next is land use and legislative committee report.
Okay, so I had the designated duty today. We met today here in council chambers at 4:30 p.m. Legislative committee consists of myself, Councilman Duck Dickinson, and also our chairman, Terry Morris, who gave me the reins today because he asked me to, and thank you, Terry. So help me out here with this report. It's quite lengthy. First item on the agenda was the Zoning Board of Appeals Planning Commission public notification. So we recommended for a short time that neighbors or anybody be notified within from 300 feet to 600 feet now to be notified of anything new that's going to be happening in their neighborhood or surrounding area. And that's going to be on a trial basis to see how it goes. Second of all, we talked about LED signs, the height, the width, the brightness, and we decided to recommend a 120-day moratorium on any of these signs until we can do a little bit more research to see how we can control this a little bit better, because it does, with our ordinances the way they are now, they were in the 60s, and this is the 21st century, and with all the new technology that we have, our ordinances are not keeping up with the new technology. So our council, Mr. Regis, is going to be going over all these, and we're going to be tweaking these over the next, I guess, couple of years, but hopefully the most important ones won't take that long. Moving on to the window rope lights, the LED rope lights. We discussed this, and we're making a recommendation that we have a ordinance in place to get rid of all these LED rope lights around windows and businesses, with the exception of holiday lights from October 15th to January 15th. So people can keep with their Christmas decorations and Halloween decor and so on. And that'll be coming to the city council as well. The inflatable bouncy houses that have been put up in neighborhoods, in the front yards, in visibility in neighborhoods, which become, not really conducive to the neighborhood. And we decided that all of those things of that nature, including trampolines, should be in the backyard. Then we have a couple ordinances amending the application requirements and background checks and application fees for liquor licenses. and we're overhauling that. And the initial application, we have $100 now, which is nowhere near the surrounding communities. So we've decided if you're going to put an application, it's going to be $500. And then there'll be fingerprinting and background checks on people that are going to run the business. But for corporate folks, let's say, for example, businesses like Walmart, et cetera, the corporate people do not have to come in because they're the ones that will be holding the license. But it's the people that are going to be running the business for them that will have to be subject to that. Then there's the Class V license, which is the video, and that ties in with the other Class V permit. So with that, I'm going to let council explain that because it's quite detailed.
Thank you. The current ordinance structure does not regulate video gaming and liquor establishments. It was grandfathered in and cobbled into another section. This new Class V category of license does regulate and impose fees for video gaming devices in liquor establishments.
Thank you. And, there'll be no wall separation between the liquor department and the grocery stores anymore. We decided that we didn't like that either. Also, under old business, we brought up the resolution or the ordinance of regulating restrictions on the sale of cat and dogs from puppy mills. And we decided that since it was a long agenda, we were going to push that back until the next agenda. It'll probably be the number one on the next agenda. This has been something that's been going on in Chicago and surrounding communities. Some neighborhoods have passed it, some municipalities have passed it and others have not. They're waiting for a court decision, but it's been sitting on a desk up in Cook County for quite some time. So we decided that we're probably going to want to go through with this, so that'll be on the next agenda. And having said that, Morgan Dierdek and Peggy Grandall were here from the Pause on 66, and they've been pushing for this, and they're very thankful that the city is looking at this and recognizing them. And I believe that's it. Did I miss anything? Terry?
No, I think you covered it all.
Doc, you got it?
That was everything.
Okay, and with that, I will end my committee report, our committee report.
Thank you.
Public Safety Committee report.
Yes, Your Honor. The Public Safety Committee met this afternoon at 5:30. The Public Safety Committee consists of Councilman Hugg, Councilman Dickinson, and myself. Also attending the committee was Fire Chief Formhall, Deputy Chief Dupas, our City Attorney Chris Regis, and Councilman Terry Morris was also in attendance at the meeting. We had two items of business that we discussed. The first item was the request to approve revised police and fire board rules. The committee heard a report and decided that we wanted to table this Council Memo 307 tonight. There was a lot of discussion, not only in our committee, but also at the Police and Fire Board Commission committee with respect to residency. And there were no residency points there were no preference points given for those people taking the exam with respect to residency. The council or the committee felt that there probably should be. The Police and Fire Board have been, I guess, reviewing this for about a year and a half. We just didn't want to make that decision up here as far as at our committee meeting within a half-hour discussion. So we're going to table it tonight. The Police and Fire Board are going to take up the matter again next Monday and hopefully come back with a solution as far as what direction that they want to go. So we're going to table this, I guess would be to the June 20th, Krista? And that's Council Member 307. The second item that we discussed was request to hire Standard & Associates entry-level firefighter testing. It's Council Memo 311, and the committee was in approval that we wanted to move forward with Standard & Associates to enter to do the firefighter testing. And that concludes my report.
Public Service Committee report.
The Public Service met here at City Hall yesterday at 5:30 in the evening. On the committee is Councilwoman Gavin, Councilman Dickinson, and myself. For the most part, it's typical housekeeping and bill paying for repairs in the Sewer and Water Department, Street Department. The only two items I would point out that are related and are on tonight's agenda. And we have a representative here from the company for any questions, is that all items on the agenda were sent forward with a recommendation for approval, including the two that have to do with Phase 1 engineering for the multi-use Cullinan, what I call community center. I think is accurate. It's everybody's heard about it by now. It's residential, it's commercial, medical, and retail. So some people call it a lifestyle mall. I'll call it a community center. So it was agreement with the state and the city to share costs on the Phase 1, which are recoupable by the city at a later date. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So other than that, unless you have questions, that's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
I show no other reports. Under consent agenda, approval of the minutes. It's recommended the minutes of the pre-council meeting held on May 15th and the minutes of the regular meeting held on May 16th, 2017 stand approved as recorded. Council Memo 283-17, 2016 Annual Treasurers Report. It's recommended this report be received and placed on file. Council Memo 284-17, regular payroll for April 14th through April 27th, 2017, $3,324,465.35. Council Memo 285-17, regular payroll for April 28th through May 11th, 2017, $3,219,963.53. It's recommended said regular payrolls be approved. Council Memo 286-17, position vacancies, job description. It's recommended the city manager be authorized to fill 3 part-time summer labor positions in the roadways division, 1 maintenance worker in the roadways division, and 1 technical analyst position in the IT department. In Council Memo 287-17, IMRF disclosure pursuant to Public Act 099-0646, retirements. Is there a motion to approve said consent agenda items?
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under licenses and permit applications, Council Memo 289-17, approval to hold a carnival June 23rd through June 25th at Joliet Memorial Stadium, Taste of Joliet. It's recommended the carnival license for the Taste of Joliet be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under ordinances, Council Memo 291-17, ordinance approving a reclassification of 1226 Plainfield Road from R2 Single Family Residential to B1 Neighborhood Business Zoning. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Somehow I knew I'd be first. I talked to the mayor this morning about the traffic issue because to me, that's why he brought that up, because the common thread here seems to be the traffic in the neighborhood. And I know that possibly, no matter what happens here tonight, I'm not sure how this vote's going to go. But I do believe that this is something that needs to be addressed, whether the strip mall is there or not. And hopefully we can come to some amicable solution. With that being said, I've always said that I am your voice at City Council. And I may not always agree with you, but I know that many of these neighbors feel like they have not been heard. I have been listening and doing my best. And I also want to say that Mr. Robles and Mr. Hanson, did meet with you folks and made several changes to try to appease you folks. And I know you still don't want it. And I appreciate what Mr. Robles has done. And please keep in mind that I believe he'd be a good neighbor. And even if this does not pass, he still has the right to build on those 2 lots a business, or he could sell to someone else that might be not as accommodating as he has been through this process to the neighbors. But, so, having said all that, so that you feel that you have a voice and that we do listen and care, with all due respect, I'm going to vote no for this, because that is your voice voting tonight, not me.
Councilman Turk?
One question for Jim Trisna. Jim, I know there were some traffic counts done some time ago. I don't know how recent those were. Would it be possible maybe to put those boxes out there to do another count just to see if things have increased?
Yeah, we could do that, definitely, Mike, yes.
And that might be able to, you know,
I mean, just
help.
keep in mind, some of these streets, particularly Oregon, it doesn't even go through to Plainfield Road.
Right.
It stops at
Right,
Colorado.
Right.
A lot of these streets have been cut off already. I mean, there's a cul-de-sac on, I believe it's Massachusetts, so, but we can do some counts, exactly.
All right, great.
And also keep in mind, if you start cul-de-sacing out streets or making one way, you push the problem, if the so-called problem, from one street to another. Everybody has to keep that in mind. So, but yes, we can do counts.
All right, thank you.
Okay?
You know, as was mentioned, the owner of the property, 2 of the lots have existing zoning that the individual can do a retail or a restaurant or any kind of business of that nature that he wants to. I think that it was stated yesterday that by Mr. Hanson that there were 30 items that were brought up by the neighbors, and that of those 30 items, they were all addressed, and we're trying to address the traffic situation. I really believe that with the 30 items that were addressed, it would address the design of the facility, lighting, drive-up windows, the whole ball of wax. So I think there's more security with this project than there would be with just the owner going with the existing zoning that he could, what he was allowed to do. So, and I do listen and I do care, but I will vote aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Well, I heard all the neighbors' concerns and stuff, just like everybody else. And Mr. Robles, he addressed everything. I mean, I've never seen a developer change as many things as he has done to try to work with the community. And, you know, I go past this mall on Collins Street every day, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And I personally don't have a problem with the mall being there, and I'm voting aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Yes, I am going to vote aye because, Mr. Robles, you have addressed all of the concerns of those residents in that particular area. I am very familiar with your property that sits in my district. Very well run, no crime. The owners of the building, of that business, are very good people, and I understand that Mr. Hanson came to us last night and addressed all 30-some concerns that the residents have. And I believe that this will be a great community neighborhood partner, and so I vote aye.
Councilman Girl?
I would tend to agree with what Councilwoman Gavin just said. I don't want to repeat it, but I think that, I think that the owner and the developer have addressed all the issues and the concerns. There were 30 conditions that were added on. I think that, he already has the zoning for 2 out of the 3 lots. If you were to sell those 2 lots, and you were dealing with an owner that might not be so agreeable and make those types of conditions. And it seems like a good project, and I vote aye.
Councilman Hug?
I don't want to rehash what everybody else has said, but just a reminder to the residents that 2 of the 3 lots in this proposed development are already commercial. So understand that whether it passes or not, it doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to build. I don't know Mr. Robles personally, but I've heard good things, not just tonight and other times, about his developments. However, in an established neighborhood, the concerns of residents on a rezoning issue I take very seriously, the rezoning issue itself. It's not an open field, so to speak, of new development. And the concerns of traffic, because I hope that should it pass, or even if there was only 2 of the lots that were developed, that Mr. Robles' development is very, very successful, and businesses in there are drawing from east, west, north, and south. So there will be concern, even though, and I serve on the Public Service Committee, like Mr. Trisna said, the traffic counts don't warrant any kind of intense addressing right now. If these are successful businesses, people can pass through to get to Route 30. So I really would feel better about it if we had closed off Kerwin Estates for this business so that people would have to come down some of the major thoroughfares. But again, I take the rezoning very seriously, have a lot of respect for Mr. Robles and anybody willing to invest in our community, but I will vote no.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
As many of the council has stated, there are many issues that our professionals have recommended that we go forward with this. As you all know, there was a hearing back on March 16th. Then there was 2 neighborhood meetings, one on April 19th, another one on May 18th, listening to the complaints of the concerns, probably a better statement, of the neighbors and the roadways. All the concerns that we were presented to Mr. Robles seemed to be answered by Mr. Hanson. I think, as all of us know, the 2 lots are zoned for business today. There was a hearing, site hearing back in 1994 when a developer wanted to put a duplex in, and the city turned it down. The style of building is as close to a residential looking with the lighting and everything that was changed for the neighbors. I'm not sure if it's fair to not be looking to advance this project. But I am your council person, and be careful what you wish for, because anything could go there that falls into the zoning restrictions. So I'll vote no.
Motion carried 5-3. Reclassification was approved. Next is Council Memo 292-17, an ordinance approving a reclassification of 107 acres along Brandon Road, south of Millsdale, from ITB Intermodal Terminal Transportation Equipment and ITC Intermodal Terminal Industrial Park to ITA Intermodal Terminal zoning. It also includes ordinances approving preliminary, final, and recording plats of Center Point Intermodal Center at Joliet Subdivision Phase 17. It's recommended said ordinances be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 293-17 is an ordinance approving a vacation of various portions of a water main easement, a resolution accepting dedication of a water main easement at 3851 Youngs Road, and an ordinance approving a revised preliminary plat of Clarius Park Joliet subdivision. It's recommended said ordinances and resolution be adopted.
So moved.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 294-17, an ordinance approving a vacation of a portion of a water main easement and a resolution accepting dedication of a public utility and drainage easement for a water main at 4050 Rock Creek Boulevard. It's recommended said ordinance and resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 295-17, an ordinance approving a special use permit to allow a resale store for general household goods located at 360 West Jefferson Street. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 296-17 is an ordinance amending Chapter 19, Articles 2, Division 5, Sections 19-139 and 19-206 to 213, Parking Code of Ordinances. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 297-17, an ordinance amending Chapter 31, Article 4, Division 2, Section 31-137A of the Code of Ordinances, Water Deposits. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 298-17 was removed from the agenda. Council Memo 299-17, an ordinance amending Ordinance 16569, which established salary ranges and fringe benefits for exempt employees. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 300-17, an ordinance amending Section 4-15H of the City of Joliet Liquor Code, amending the description of a Class G liquor license. It's recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 301-17, an ordinance declaring certain properties as public nuisances. It is recommended said ordinance be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Motion carried. Under Resolutions, Council Memo 302-17, a resolution to approve memorandum of understanding between the City of Joliet and the Joliet City Center Partnership to provide marketing and economic development services to downtown core area. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 303-17 is a resolution approving a letter of intent with the Illinois Department of Transportation for cost sharing regarding Phase 1 engineering, I-55, Route 59 interchange, and local road network. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 304-17, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with Cullinan Properties regarding funding local share of Phase 1 engineering expenses related to I-55, Route 59 interchange, and local road network. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 305-17, a resolution approving execution of a sales tax sharing agreement with SRS for development of property located at 1806 Terry Drive, Joliet, Illinois. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
Mayor?
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Osterberger maybe to address some of the statute, maybe some of the confusion from yesterday, and then address the statutes as well.
Okay. Yes.
Good evening, Tom Osterberger, 111 North Ottawa, Joliet, on behalf of petitioner. I had a conversation with Mr. Shanahan last night. Last night, Mr. Harvey was here objecting, and I wanted to clear up and make a record with respect to the statute. This tax rebate agreement was put together, I think, fully in compliance with the statute. Steve did a nice job on it. There are essentially 8 criteria. There could be 9. In this case, there are 8. This property, a property needs to be non-code compliant. Mr. Harvey came in and objected to the statute in general, specifically with number 4 of the criteria. Number 1 is that it's not code compliant. This subdivision in general, half of the properties are not compliant because of pavement. When you increase the pavement like this project is proposing, oftentimes you need stormwater detention, hence that's part of the project. So it qualifies under that standard. The project is supposed to create jobs. We talked about 8 to 10 jobs starting out at $40,000 to $90,000. The project is supposed to serve the further development of the adjacent areas. When we talk about Crown Trig subdivision, we're talking about an old subdivision that predated your stormwater ordinance. We have approximately 20 properties in there, and there is absolutely, there is 1, maybe 2, depending upon how it's counted, stormwater facilities there. There's absolutely nothing. So this project is designed to help adjacent properties, and it's designed to help gentrify. Gentrification and improvement of the area is absolutely satisfies the 3rd criteria. Our incentive programs in downtown Joliet are designed to gentrify and improve the area. That's why you improve them. We're trying to get things nicer so that adjacent properties improve and we see increase in value. Without this rebate, the cost of the project is too great. When Mr. Reeves did the subdivision, by the way, Mr. Harvey came in objecting on behalf of Norcoast. Norcoast is a tenant of Mr. Reeves. Mr. Reeves has, as Mr. Harvey indicated, 50,000 square feet on a small lot with no detention. So if we want to talk about a subdivision that needs improvement, it's this one. And if we want to talk about somebody who has an advantage, we can talk about Norcoast. They're under 50,000 square feet on a small lot with no detention. And I might point out that Mr. Reeves' building was built after the stormwater code. Today I contacted Jim Trisnan and said, Jim, am I missing something here? Is there a way to get a variation so that we don't have to ask for this, so that we can build, pave, and do things not on the hard surface and stormwater? And he said, absolutely not. And he said, no, because your staff is excellent here. I'm not sure how those other properties got through, but when we want to talk about an advantage, I think the advantage is to the contrary. SRS submitted a verification of its financial position, a criteria that requires that they show proof that they can cover the initial cost of this project without, with equity of at least 10%. So I provided that information to Steve Jones. The project is supposed to strengthen the commercial sector. I think we see a good corporate tenant. Here we talked about last night about having 2 national roofing distributors in the city of Joliet. This project would bring a 3rd. I mean, that certainly strengthens the financial position of the commercial sector in Joliet. It would enhance the tax base. The improvement would improve and raise the assessment, which, as you know, only helps Joliet a little bit. More importantly, it would provide $1 million of proposed retail tax over the 7-year lease. So the final is that the agreement is in the best interest of the Joliet, and I think for all those reasons it is. So I have a representative here if there was any other questions, but thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve Council Memo 305-17, which is a resolution approving execution of a sales tax sharing agreement with SRS for development of property located at 1806 Terry Drive, Joliet?
So moved.
Second?
Been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
No.
Councilman Mudrin?
No.
Councilwoman Quillman?
No.
Councilman Turk?
No.
Councilman Dickinson?
No.
Councilwoman Gavin?
No.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Motion was denied 2-6, so it did not carry. Council Memo 306-17 is a resolution approving elected officials' participation in IMRF.
So moved.
Second.
It's in motion and seconded to approve Council Memo 306-17. Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 307-17 is a resolution approving the rules and regulations of the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners. It's recommended this council memo be tabled to the June 20th council meeting.
Motion to table?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to table Council Memo 307-17 to the June 20th council meeting. Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 308-17 is a resolution authorizing execution of an intergovernmental cooperation agreement between the City of Joliet and the Joliet Park District, Taste of Joliet. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Motion carried. Council Memo 309-17, a resolution appropriating motor fuel tax funds for the 2017 MFT roadways resurfacing contract. It's recommended said resolution be adopted.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hug?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Motion carried. Under bids and contracts, award of contracts, Council Memo 311-17, approve a professional services agreement for hiring entry-level firefighters, paramedics. Council Memo 312-17, award a contract for the Well 22D Rehabilitation Project 2017. Council Memo 313-17, approve the repair to the Well 20D and 30D motors. Council Memo 314-17, approve the repairs to the number 2 pump at the Arbiter Road Pump Station. Council Memo 315-17, award a contract for the 2017 City of Joliet resurfacing contract. Council Memo 316-17, approve a professional services agreement for the 2018 Water System Rehabilitation Program. Council Memo 317-17, award a contract for the 2017 Sewer Root Control Program. Council Memo 318-17, award a contract to Axon for interview room system automation project. Council Memo 319-17, award contracts for internet access services. It's recommended Council Memos 311 through 319-17 be approved.
So moved.
Second?
Been motion and seconded to approve. Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried. Amendments, change orders, and payments. Council Memo 321-17, approved change order number 2 to subcontract for excavation for the new construction of a single-family residence at 1317 Demond. Council Memo 322-17, approve a series of change orders to subcontract for excavation for the new construction of a single-family residence at 504 Elmwood. Council Memo 323-17, approve change order number 9 for the Knight Inc. Professional Architectural and Engineering Services contract for the Joliet Multimodal Regional Transportation Center. And Council Memo 324-17, approve change order number 3 for the 2016 Electrical Maintenance Assistance Contract. It is recommended Council Memos 321 through 324-17 be approved.
So moved.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to approve. Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Motion carried. Next is the city manager's report.
The only thing I have to say is there's a lot of great things going on in Joliet this summer. Let's hope for great weather for the Taste of Joliet, as that being one of them.
New business not for final action or recommendation.
I have nothing.
Jim?
Just, let's address the traffic issues over in the Kerwin Terrace neighborhood.
Yeah, I agree. That's not a new complaint. That's been,
Long time coming, and I know Mr. Robles will be a very good neighbor. And, hopefully we can come together here with all those. But I do have a question for Mr. Trisna. Do they really need to petition for the one-way streets, or can we go in there and take a look at what needs to be done and make suggestions without them having to go through that whole process?
We definitely need a petition. You can't just go with what one or two people want in a given street.
No. I'm not saying what one or two, I'm just going with what the city recommendations would be for
Yeah,
that.
well, we typically don't recommend one-ways unless it's a very narrow street.
Right,
that
right.
You can't allow parking, things of that nature. So that's why we want people to petition for that. Because quite often, there might be a few people who want it and quite a few don't. It impacts how they travel. And again, as I mentioned before, you start making streets one way, then all of a sudden it changes traffic patterns. Maybe that street becomes one way, say southbound. And all of a sudden more people are driving on Colorado to get to that street than they normally would, based on where they're coming from. So you got to be careful what you do on things of that nature. So that's why we asked for that. But we're going to, as I said, Mr. Councilman Turk asked for new counts. We'll do additional counts and see if things have changed since we last did them, which was about a year and a half ago.
But even if they haven't changed, I think we need to take a look and have some suggestions made on what can be done to alleviate some of that traffic. Because I know a lot of that traffic comes from Taft School as well. And it's been an ongoing problem. And that seems to be the common thread with all the meetings that we had. It's the traffic, it's the traffic, it's the traffic. So I know what your counts are.
Sure.
But I don't.
If you'd like, we can wait. I mean, school's out now. We just
Right.
got done. So if you'd like, we can
So
wait till school's in session. Maybe that would.
Well, the counts are going to be way down now, of course, so that
That's my
makes
point.
sense.
So maybe we want to wait till September.
In the meantime, when they have one of their neighborhood meetings, we can go and talk to them and see what exactly do you really want to help with the traffic.
Sure.
But again, maybe there's not going to be that much traffic generated from this strip mall business. We don't know.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, obviously the access for the strip mall is strictly on Plainfield Road.
Correct. So, thank you. That's the only new business I would suggest.
Nothing.
yeah, I'd like to address, just for a minute, the Rialto Theater. There was talk, and it was in the media, about a dedicated source of funding. And the reason why it wasn't talked about publicly, because we were in the process of negotiating, it was myself, Mr. Shanahan, Mr. Regis, had sat down with the track. We are in the process again of negotiating their annexation agreement. And there are a couple ideas that were raised in the new annexation agreement about some type of dedicated source of funding for the Rialto, either a head tax, although we weren't going to call it that, or a recapture provision. We thought we had an agreement on the local level, and it appears that higher-ups in NASCAR did not want to agree to this. So that has fallen through. It's off the table. We are back, now I won't say back to the drawing board, because Mr. Shanahan, myself, and Mr. Regis are working on a new source of dedicated funding for the Rialto. So I'm confident we're going to keep plugging away till we find one, and I think we're going to find one. But having said that, there was a Rialto celebration a couple weeks ago, and my comments were reported in the paper when I said that I thought Will County and other government bodies should start matching the city's contribution dollar for dollar. It was reported that I said that in response to Larry Walsh's comments, but that wasn't true at all. I planned on saying that it had nothing to do with what Larry Walsh said. But I do feel strongly the city has always stepped up for the theater. We've gone above and beyond. Last year, we certainly did. The foundation board has done everything humanly possible, including the last $700,000 that they've loaned to the theater. So we're going to get a source of funding, a dedicated source. But beyond that, I do call on other local forms of government, and primarily the Will County Board, to step up and begin helping with the theater. They're going to need the assistance. I know Joliet Township came in front of us when they were looking to take over Bicentennial Park and talked about hundreds of thousands of dollars that they had that they want to invest in the park. And then the state of Illinois, if they ever pass a budget, this is certainly something that they should consider too. I know, Councilwoman Coleman, you probably know better, but years ago, the state did come to the table,
They did.
but it's been a long time. So,
And so the federal government, too.
right. And I know that the Rialto Board is having discussion with federal elected officials. So I think for those that really care about the theater and love the theater, I think they really need to start putting pressure on some of these other local elected officials and telling them how valuable they think the Rialto is. We know here at the city, we've never wavered in our commitment, and I don't suspect we're going to in the future, but the theater is going to need other people to step up to the plate, not just give speeches or come here and lecture us when it's budget time about how important the theater is. I think it's time for some of them to start putting up also. So those are the comments I made. Those are the explanation. Hopefully, we're going to have good news about another source of funding. We're actively working on that. And like I said, we're going to keep plugging away until we find one.
Mayor?
Yes.
I have a question. I know that some Rialto representatives were here, and since you brought it up, they talked about some 35 shows. And what I've gotten from the community is they don't see 35 shows listed on the website. So I'm thinking I think we're towards the end. Councilman Mudrin, it's the end of the fiscal year, July 1st, the beginning of the new fiscal year.
Correct.
Do we have any reports? How long has it been now that the new management company's been since April 1st, 3 months?
Yes.
Do we have reports on the numbers and the specific shows from April 1st to June 30th and projections for the next fiscal year? Can you report on that?
Not for the next fiscal year, but I can tell you the report that Valerie Devine, the executive director, made at the May meeting. The shows presented Celtic Women, the last month were Celtic Women, Leanne Rhymes, and Music Mondays. Rentals were 2 wedding receptions, one dance competition, 1 dance recital, Illinois Principal Association breakfast, and Will County Go Green. New shows under contract now are Gordon Lightfoot on July 30th. Upcoming, which is now past, was participation in the Star Wars Days, being involved Friday with New Orleans North, will be involved in the Route 66 Street Market, open for tours during that. As of this date, it is said that they had 35 shows on contract by June 30th.
Is there a place the community can go see what those shows are?
I'm sure there is, but I can find that out.
And financially, how are they doing from April 1st until June 30th?
I do not have that. They were changing over their books, and that presentation was not, they're going to QuickBooks, and that presentation was not made at the last meeting.
Because I think as a council, we have to vote on the other half of the subsidy sometime prior to July 1st, right?
I would say yes, they have to
We need
prove up
those
their
numbers.
shows.
Right, we need those numbers to see where so see if we can get those numbers, Councilman, I'd appreciate it.
Sure, we can get them.
Okay.
Is that going to be in the next agenda, the vote for the second half?
Yes, I am certainly not going to issue a check without talking to council first.
Good move.
They've also added a point of sales, accepting credit cards for beverages before shows, and they have revisited their emergency plan for all employees with some of the disasters that have happened at other theaters outside of our country. That's it.
Yeah, I will comment. Opening up for the downtown events is something new. They haven't done that in the past, although we have all implored them to do that. So give the new board and Venue Works credit for doing that. I think it's a smart move.
They were open for the Star Wars piece. And,
There were a lot of people there Saturday, a lot.
Next is public comments. Is there anyone present that would like to speak under public comments this evening?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. First of all, Mayor, I really I want to say I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on this new council, this new board. I think that it gives the neighborhood a voice. And I think that with the community which I serve, first of all, I'm Garland Mays, but it gives the neighborhood councils a voice that is much needed. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity, one I do not take lightly. Sitting here talking about the Rialto, I just got a couple buttons I need to push. The Rialto, I hear about the 35 shows, and I've yet to hear about how these shows reach out to the entire Joliet. I've just heard that there's a show about how to become a pirate. I don't know anyone in my community that wants to be a pirate. I know someone that wants to hear some gospel shows, maybe some blues or jazz, but not how to be a pirate. 35 shows that do not reach out to the entire city, and we are taxpayers. To me, that's kind of a little slap in the face. The other thing, I was actually at the Joliet on Collins Street when the fire happened at the prison. And I got several calls from members of my community concerning the prison. I know this has been a hot button. I know it's a state issue, but it seems like it's becoming more of a city issue. But got numerous calls with the overgrown, not only with the fire, but with the unkept property. It's becoming kind of an eyesore in the community. People drive up and down, they see these weeds and unkept ground 6 feet high. And I don't know how this can be looked at or what we can do as a city to maybe have the state pay to cut some of this down. But if you go there, and I know everyone has been there, it's kind of unkept. And I don't know where the future goes with this property, but I think something needs to be done. Once again, Mayor, I thank you. I think you're doing a great job. Council members, I think everyone's doing a great job. I think we do better if we can get some shows at the Rialto that supports everyone, though. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor?
I wanted to, Garland,
Agreed.
just real quick, I heard you say maybe we can have the state pay, in some areas, which I agree with you.
Yes, sir.
Do you know something I don't know? I don't know if
As
they're
far
giving
as
any
what?
money. Do you know how to get the money from them? Help us out here.
Well, hey, I thought maybe we'd drive up to Ronald's house and see if he'd finally do a budget. No, it's just unkept property, and I know everyone's probably seen it. It's just horrible.
Right.
I mean, you have you have weeds and just 6 feet high. I mean, it's a horrible sight. Like I said, I don't know exactly where this is going to go or what the state plans are or whatever, or city plans, but something needs to be done. Something needs to be done.
Thank you.
Mayor.
Oh, quickly, Marty?
Yes, Mayor, actually on June 1st, last week, we sent a letter to the director, essentially placing him on notice of the condition, so we'll see where this goes.
Thank you.
Okay, that was going to be my question, Marty. Thank you so much for that.
Step ahead of you.
I was going to say, we have some ordinances to hold people accountable, even the state. So, yes, thank you for that, Marty, for reaching out.
My question was, didn't we stipulate when we gave the Rialto that first part of their money that they had to have more diverse shows?
That was written into the agreement. I know we urged them to do that.
Okay. Gotta get it in writing then, I guess.
Can we review the agreement? Well, you'll have it out for the next meeting.
Because that was a major topic, I know, because there weren't enough shows for everyone.
Right, absolutely. I just want to say I have been in contact with some of the leadership at Rialto. We brought forth a couple of names, From what I understand in the last conversation that I had with them, that they were looking into those particular entertainers. Have not gotten anything back yet, but they have been given some names and been in contact. So we should see. I'm hoping they bring that forth as well.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'm Rachelle Wesley, and I just wanted to publicly thank Mayor Odekirk for the appointment to the community organization, and I'm looking forward to serving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to speak? Sir?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I just wanted to bring to your attention I had a question about the Joliet Public Library parking lot right here on Clinton and Chicago Street. Just across the sidewalk from that lot, there are parking meters that say on them limit 2 hours. So if you put your 2 hours in there, and you come back 3 hours later, you'll have a $10 ticket on your car. And then right across the sidewalk in the library parking lot, it also says 2 hour parking. And if you come back 3 hours later, you'll have a $30 ticket on your car. So I'm just wondering, why is there a big difference in the fine for parking in the library than 20 feet away at the meters right next to the library lot for the same amount of time?
I don't know. Does anyone can answer the question? Maybe an old timer? We haven't changed the parking rates in a long time.
Girl?
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
I guess.
It's way before me.
Golden age.
Well, in one council meeting that I watched on television, I could swear I heard you say that you would recommend $30 fines now instead of I think it used to be $3.
I did?
Yes, you recommended it.
How long ago was that?
I'm going to say it could have been maybe not more than 2 years ago. And you mentioned
Well, I'll have to look
reason
that up
why-
because there must have been a reason why I said that,
Yeah,
so.
you mentioned that because people were parking at the meters all day long, like maybe people that work downtown and they weren't sharing the meters with other people that want to use downtown and need parking. So it was kind of like, well, if you're going to stay there all day, you're going to pay the fine, you know. And I thought all the meters had turned to $30, but eventually everything just ended up at 10, but the library lot is still 30. So my question was, how come the library lot is $30 and right next to it, the meters are a $10 fine?
I think as I recall now, I think I suggested it, but it didn't go forth. I lost
Well,
that.
I just
vote
remember-
Because it wasn't to single out the library parking meters, but I suggested that because there was a lot of discussion about that now that I remember that. And I said, well, why don't we? But that never went forth. That didn't happen.
Well, the
I
library-
talked about it, but it didn't happen.
The library parking lot here doesn't have meters in there. They just monitor the cars, and if they see they've been in there for more than 2 hours, they put a $30 ticket on your car.
That I can't answer. I don't know. That had nothing
So-
to do with me.
I just thought you all would be the best people to ask that question to. Why is there such a difference?
Well, we need to
We
look
can
into
try to
that.
get you an answer. I don't know offhand. If I had a guess, it'd be because the library's free parking and you're paying for a meter, but I don't know. We'll try to get you an answer at the next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty, thank you.
Do you have a phone number or email we can contact you and let
Yeah.
you know?
Let's see, you can give it to staff after the meeting.
Okay. And I forgot to mention, my name is Edward Rodriguez. I live 408 Williamson here in Joliet. Thank you.
Okay.
Mayor, one of the things that we would like to do as a, staff is present something to council which essentially lists all, so this issue, doesn't, you can see it. What we want to do is pull all the fines out and put them in essentially one section so we can see them all. So that's something that's on the, call it a short/long-term goal to present to council. So.
Quick question, Mayor, on the subject. Yes. Marty, do you know, or Chris, or anybody, does the library own that parking lot, or do we, as a city?
The library.
So maybe they the ones that set it at 30. Right, that's like a private lot, but I mean, it's public library, but maybe they wanted it set at 30. 'Cause they have their own appointed governing board.
You might be right.
Yeah.
That might be it.
Mayor, if I may. Jim Gaddotti, the
Yes.
Director of Finance. We are currently, Rich and Associates is currently, right now, working on a park and rate study for us. So I will make them aware of this question and see if they can answer why the disparity in the rates.
Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to speak this evening? Next is mayor and council comments.
Yeah, last week I was fortunate enough to go on a tour to see a couple of our facilities, and I'd just like to thank Jim Trisna, Jim Egan, and Mike Ulitz for taking time out of their day to show me around, and they pretty much showed me everything. And you know, as a park district employee, I kind of have some idea what you guys are going through, and it was really nice to see all the facilities and see the shape of the equipment, and that way I have firsthand knowledge. So I only see Jim Trisna right now, but Jim, I'd just like to say thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And one more thing I'd like to say, congratulations to the Pharaohs. We were invited down to the Miracle League in celebration of their 10-year anniversary, and what they do and what they've accomplished is just outstanding. So I'd just like to say congratulations. Thank you.
Oh, yes. I just would like to give a huge shout out to one of our organizations in town who are extremely investing in our future. The National Hookup of Black Women over the weekend on Saturday, they dispensed $11,000 in scholarship monies. JT Central, JT West, Lockport, Wheaton, and Plainfield, two of the Plainfield schools. So we're very, very proud of this organization. They invest in our future, who are our kids, and for their education. So I just want to give a big shout out to them. And a great big shout out to the activities that were downtown, the Star Wars, that was amazing. I had a great time down there. I hate I didn't take any pictures.
I got plenty for you.
You got plenty. I saw yours. But a great work downtown, Miracle League, and with the baseball opening at Joe Bellman Park. That was awesome. Thank you.
Mayor, just one thing I know, City Manager Shanahan had kind of mentioned, we've got a lot of exciting things going on in Joliet this summer, and I'll tell you, one of my favorites is coming up this weekend, and I think it's probably one of yours too, being a big baseball fan. But the state championships are going to be at Silver Cross Field Friday and Saturday. If you're a baseball fan, and I know Joliet is a big baseball community, you see some tremendous baseball there, and really some future stars. In fact, I can remember a couple years ago watching Sam Travis from Providence hit an absolute missile out of Slammer Stadium, who's now playing for the Boston Red Sox. So I think it's a great time. I think, Mayor, we get maybe over 10,000 people throughout the weekend, and it's a lot of fun. So I would encourage you to try and take in a little baseball this weekend, along with all the other things. So thank you.
I simply want to congratulate all the young folks that graduated from the area high schools. This month, big graduation month for everybody, and in particular, my son Douglas, who graduated from Plainfield Central.
I too attended the Miracle League because I was right in the beginning. My husband and I and my niece, we were buddies for the children with handicaps and or disabilities. I don't like to call them handicapped, I like to call them disabled. And the looks on their faces is priceless. So if you can get out there on a Saturday behind Slammer Stadium, it's just amazing to watch these kids play ball and what they can do. And when they hit that ball and run that base, it's amazing. Also, I want to remind everybody this Wednesday on Flag Day, June 14th, here at City Hall at 11 a.m., we'll be having a Flags of Valor ceremony The JPD bagpipe and drums will be here, and we'll be giving a memorial to local servicemen that have been killed in action, and we'll be sending flags and plaques to the families and the Gold Star mothers. Also, Betty, you forgot to mention, we give credit to Hookup, but we're also part of that organization. So we got to let folks know that we're very proud of our organization and the scholarships that they gave out. And one last thing, Pause on 66 was an event held on Sunday with a different organization, animal control, not animal control, but pet rescues that had adoption day that day. And they said it was a very wonderful event. And Peggy Grandall and Morgan Durdeck were here earlier, and they wanted me to pass on to the council and to City Center Partnership that it was a wonderful event, and they wanted to thank us for all the help that we had done, and also City Center Partnership, and hope to make that an annual event so that we can get our rescue dogs homes where they belong and not in puppy mills or cages or being abused. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Fine, I have a list. Let me try to get through this quickly. May 17th, I attended the Joliet Police Department Awards Ceremony. Congratulations to all our hardworking officers. Chief Benton and Deputy Chief Dupas, I know you were integral to the whole thing, so great work. May 19th, Washington Junior High School invited me to their STEM Club reception. Kendall, I know you were there. There's some city employees there. Great work. Thank you for going. Great work to the Washington Junior staff and to the students at the STEM Club. On May 20th, Nicor Gas volunteered. They had a day of service at the Warren Sharp Center. It was raining that day, so they weren't able to work on the garden, but they did work on the impressive food bank. So thank you to Warren Sharp and Nicor Gas for their commitment to our community. The same day, the Blue Stem Earth Festival took place at University of St. Francis. It's about the 4th or 5th year that they've done it. Another outstanding crowd. And again, I know we had city personnel there like Lisa Dorothy. Thank you for taking part of that. Thank you, St. Francis, and all the folks at Blue Stem for that great event. Also that day, on the 20th, Igniting the Fire Ministries had a prayer vigil downtown at the courthouse. Myself and Executive Larry Walsh were there. They said extensive prayers for the city and for all of us, so thank you for that kind gesture. On May 24th, the Disability Resource Center had an open house. This is formerly the Will Grundy Center for Independent Living. They're now at 77 Infantry Drive. It was a very nice event, and congratulations and welcome to the Disability Resource Center. That same day, down in Center Point Park, Con Global had a ribbon cutting. Again, I was there with Executive Larry Walsh. Con Global is a company that has over 90 locations in North America. We're proud that they have chosen Joliet as one of those 90 locations. This project created 100 construction jobs and 50 more permanent jobs that have come into our city. So welcome, Con Global, and thank you for your investment in Joliet. On May 25th, Sandy Giretti had an unveiling in Bicentennial Park. She won a national competition for a police memorial that's painted at Bicentennial Park. Councilman Turk, I know you were there. Very nice event. Congratulations, Sandy. And thank you to the people at Bicentennial Park for allowing her to use the park as her forum. There was last weekend, the 31st, there was a Reconstructing Chicago Street public meeting that was held right here in the council chambers. Thank you to staff. I know a lot of people from the public were here to look at the plans of what's going to happen with Chicago Street. I saw numerous county board members that were present, so it's great to see the county also being partners in this project, and thank you to our staff for putting this on. Saturday, some of these have been mentioned. On the 3rd, last Saturday, there was a Relay for Life at Memorial Stadium. Councilman Hugg, you were able to attend. Thank you for going, and thank you to the Relay for Life people. I know they've raised, I think we're second or third in the state in monies that are raised for cancer research. So thank you for all the hard work. On the same day, Spanish Community Center had their opening day at Joe Bellman Field. Councilwoman Gavin, I know you were there. Thank you, Spanish Center. They had a great turnout, a lot of young people excited. It's a beautiful day, and they're ready to play baseball. Again, Councilman Dickinson, you were, myself, Councilwoman Coleman, Councilman Turk, we're at the Miracle League on their 10-year anniversary. Thanks again to the Pharaohs. They really, and Councilwoman Coleman, I know you were there from the very beginning, but they really took that project on. They made a trip, I think, to Alabama to meet with the National Miracle League Society to make sure they were in compliance. They've secured the money. They put it on there. They're all day. On Saturdays, there's games every hour throughout the day. So it was an honor well received for the Pharaohs. Thank you for the hard work. Again, it's a wonderful activity. I know we say this a lot. Anyone in our community, pop down there on a Saturday. The families will appreciate it. The young disabled children there playing will appreciate it. It really does warm your heart. It's a very nice event. So I would encourage anybody to stop by and show your support to these young boys and girls that struggle. Every day's a struggle, but to see them have fun playing baseball. Star Wars Day Saturday was downtown. I don't know if we have a final number yet. I've heard close to 10,000 people attended. Great job by our library and by the museum for putting this on. This seems to get bigger every year. The next day on Sunday, as Councilwoman Quillman mentioned, Paws in 66, the Pet Rescue Day was downtown Joliet. I was out there around noon. There was a great crowd there. This is a first-time event. I'm sure they're going to come back next year. It had to be hundreds of dogs. It was a hot day, so a lot of dogs were jumping in the fountain. I couldn't blame them. But again, I credit City Center Partnership for putting this on, for having some initiative. So again, as we talked about the Rialto, there's things we've been stressing for downtown about trying to open up, think out of the box, appeal to different people. This was an example. This was a new event. It hadn't been done before, and it was a great success. And I think they're doing a great job. When you see downtown filled all day Saturday, all day Sunday, it's going to be the same way next weekend with the IHSA tournament, with New Orleans North on Friday. So it's good for the businesses, and it's good for the city to show that type of pride and interest in our downtown area. And then finally, on a personal note, on Memorial Day weekend, I was able to travel to New York. My niece, Carly Catalina, graduated from West Point. She received her commission. She's now a second lieutenant in the United States Army. It's a very proud day for our family. I want to congratulate Carly, my sister Cheryl, and her husband Mark Catalina for doing a great job. Carly will be starting Walter Reed Medical School in the fall. So congratulations to her, and as Councilman Hugg said, to all the young people who have graduated grammar school, high school, and college.
Wow.
And that is all I have. So
I did receive a request for a brief closed session. So is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition or conveyance, pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will be adjourned?
So moved.
Second.
Motion seconded to approve. Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Quillman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Motion carried.
No.